I think what I love about skateboarding is that there's literally no rules. My name is Payton Shahdad. I'm 32 years old and I currently reside in Los Angeles, California. Part of the reason I skate, and I think a lot of people skate, is because we seek validation, right? We're trying to prove something to ourselves by like doing this really difficult thing. And I think that especially with people who grew up in environments where, you know, parental figures were extremely hard on them and expected a lot of them, it's like this double-edged sword because it instills a lot of like focus and drive, and like you'll just run yourself through a wall trying to get to where you want to go, you know? But also at the same time, it makes you so self-critical, and it makes it so that you're beyond a perfectionist. You know what I mean? Like you are just like you're so hard on yourself because that's kind of the way that you were taught, right? I think, you know, with your parents, especially being like a young child, you learn about who you are and where you fit in the world around you based on how they perceive you and what they tell you about yourself.
Dude, I might have to put a new one together. This one's getting fucking crusty.
Yeah, that.
Look, I can't even like keep my like. Can't even draw within the lines, you know.
And the lip of it's all.
Chaos, dude.
There's a history of like trailblazers in skateboarding, and I think if you really want to be close to the heart of skateboarding, you want to try to be as authentic of a skateboarder as possible, is to do it your own way, you know, and try not to allow the standards that either the industry of skateboarding or that other people have, other people's perceptions on what skateboarding is and what skateboarding isn't. Do it however you want to do it. Create your own skateboarding. Do tricks however you want to do them. There's no rule book in skateboarding, right? You can create whatever trick you want. You can do whatever thing you want in skateboarding. Don't allow the rigidity of people's minds and of essentially the industry of skateboarding to dictate how you become a skateboarder, the type of skateboarding you create, you know?
Can you do it? Me? Drop it. You think I could do it?
Drop in? Of course you can.
Yeah, so I met Luis at what is actually called Jackie Tatum Recreation Center, but what people, I guess, in LA refer to as Harvard Skate Park. So that's one of the closest skate parks to where I currently live. And it was probably the first or second time that I actually went to the park that I met Luis. And if I remember correctly, I think he offered to film me doing something just on my phone or something like that. But he was just really excited. And he was the type of person who was like bouncing around the park, like doing a little bit of kind of everything. And, you know, I thought what was really impressive is that, you know, especially for young people, it takes a lot of courage and kind of self-assurance to just go up to someone you never met and just talk to them and introduce yourself and, you know, be friendly and things like that. And I think that's what I found very impressive about Luis. I thought he was very mature for his age. I thought that it was interesting how everyone in the park kind of respected him, you know, and they kind of, in many ways, Luis was kind of like a leader, you know, like whenever he would film things, he always had a camera with him, whether it was like a GoPro or like something else, like, you know, cameras that, you know, that he had or whatever. And he was this really unique individual at a skate park in a very unsuspecting kind of situation. So yeah, I was like really impressed with him and his attitude, the way people respected him around the park and stuff like that. I thought he was a very impressive young man. It is a completely subjective, I mean, you know, most people say it's an art form. It's not even really a sport, you know what I mean? Because a sport, there's rules, there's, you know, it's like a time limit, there's, you know, it's way more structured. Skateboarding is so subjective that you can basically take skateboarding anywhere, you know? Anything can be you know, you can just walk outside of your house and, you know, things that are completely mundane to people, like a sidewalk or a little divot in the ground, or just like an interesting looking, like, you know, edge of a building or something like that. To someone walking down the road, it's just this mundane thing that's there and it's not really interesting. But to a skateboarder, they would look at that and they would reimagine what that can be used for, you know? It combines all of these different aspects of athleticism, creativity, community, music, self-expression. I mean, it's just, there's so many different aspects of skateboarding. And I think what's really unique is that most of it is completely self-taught. Like, you can watch somebody do something, you can even talk to somebody and they can try to explain to you what they do, but the way you kickflip is not like the way anybody else kickflips, you know? The way you push, the way you ride your board is not like how anybody else does that. There's so much individuality in that I think it's like really beautiful how, again, to go to like a multifaceted thing, you have these individuals who come together and make this community of all these different people with different perspectives and different talents and different strengths and weaknesses, and it's like you just have this one, like, I don't even think you can grasp every aspect of skateboarding, and it's totally a unique experience to yourself. No one experiences skateboarding the way you skateboard. No one sees what you see when you look at different obstacles and when you're, you know, imagining what is possible. And, you know, that's what I think is so interesting about it. And I think it's difficult to imagine my life without skateboarding and what the people that I may not have met and the experiences I may not have had and the things I learned about myself through this a toy. It's essentially a toy. It's a piece of wood on wheels, right? Which is like the most bizarre thing, because it's like, you know, at some point, yo-yos and hula hoops were about the same as a skateboard, you know? But to what this thing has become and what it's grown into, and yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine what I would do or where I would be or the person that I would be if I hadn't have been influenced by skateboarding throughout my life.